Hey everyone, this is Josh from before, and I'm here with the entire McFarlane DC Multiverse Snyder Cut wave. And I had such a great time with this wave of figures that I wanted to do one more sort of wrap-up video. I'll go through from my least favorite to my most favorite. But I was very surprised that I had such a good time with this wave because, and I know I've said this before, but I generally don't care for the live-action McFarlane figures for a lot of reasons. For one, I don't think they get there with the face sculpts and the paint apps. So that the overall look kind of suffers. They just don't quite hit that level of visual fidelity that makes them work as live action sculpts. I think I wish they'd go a little bit more stylized. And then another thing that they tend to sculpt their live action characters in a more sort of neutral pose, which makes it makes it difficult to put them in really dynamic poses. They just have a static kind of feel generally, which just makes for me the fun factor kind of takes a hit. But they really surprised me with this wave, and I'll just start going through them, and I'll revisit kind of my favorite aspects and my least favorite as well. I threw this Wonder Woman in here. She's from Wave 1. She's got these huge legs that just don't look right. But other than that, she does fit in pretty well with this team, especially because you need a live-action Wonder Woman to complete them. So she works well enough, but is definitely the least successful, I think. Just those legs are just, there's no way to hide them. So that takes us down to the actual releases from this wave proper. We'll go through. My least favorite is this Batman. It's not that it's a failure or anything. I think the Affleck face sculpt's fine, especially with the goggles down. I don't care for the armored Batman. I just, the military tactical stuff, it's all right. I just, not my favorite thing. But, he has an excellent cape. There's great details in this sculpt. It just could use a little extra paint to bring him out. But the biggest thing is he's just a little more rigid and hard to move around than everyone else. And that just makes it feel a little bit like a figure that I've already had, a dozen times. So he just doesn't have really anything beyond the Affleck sculpt that makes it feel like special or unique among the rest of the Batman figures from this line. Next up, I'm going to go with Mamoa. They just missed the mark on that face in a big way. But he has some really fun pieces of his armor. His gauntlets and his big leg guards here are this soft rubber material. And that goes a long way to counter what I was just talking about, and it makes it feel like this isn't something I've held a million times before. It just feels it's got a little bit of uniqueness that no other figure has had yet in this line, and he's got some good movement that can make for great swimming poses as well. So there's a lot of fun to be had with this Aquaman. Next up, I'm going to go with the Flash. This figure's a blast. It feels great in hand, and it just wants to move. And he really every pose you put him in, he feels right, and it feels like he's moving the way the Flash is. The Flash would be. The biggest thing is just that this his pelvis piece is just so big and isn't quite tailored with the rest of them, and it really truly does feel like a soggy diaper. And the lack of paint hurts this guy, I think, worse than anyone else, because there are so many details that could be brought out in this great sculpt. So he just feels a little flat, but it was really fun, and I didn't bring him out, but the little lightning effects, they're cool. They're fun little accessories and they service the character in the way the character should feel when you pose them. But I mean, that ab crunch is fantastic. So if we have to have big diapers to allow him to do that, I mean, I don't know. But great movement in this figure. Next, I'm going with Henry Cavill's Superman, which this one is maybe has the least sort of standout features. It's just a guy in a skin tight bodysuit, with a long sort of neutrally posed cape. But I'm just partial to the Henry Cavill Superman. I think that the costume looks great. I think this figure looks great even with the minimal paint that it has. I think the head sculpt is the best live action one they've done to date. So this is a winner for me. This is one that I'm really excited to have. Big Man of Steel fan, so it's nice to have this. And then for me, the best of the 7-inch figures in this wave is this Cyborg. He's got this fantastic blaster accessory. So his whole forearm just swaps out, which is great. The head sculpt is dynamite. Looks super good. He's got these really fun knee and elbow joints that look really mechanical. These great like armor plates that move around his body. And then he's got his own uniquely sculpted ankles and wrists instead of just the ball joints, which that just goes a long way. They made the joints specifically for this figure. They don't feel like assembly line ball joints that go on everyone. And that goes a long way to making a memorable and really fun figure. And I also just think they took... I think the Cyborg design from the movie is terrible, but rendered like this, it actually looks pretty good. And that leaves us with the Mega Figs, which are, I believe, the standouts from this wave. Partially just due to the scale, but also because I think they were really successfully done, especially considering they haven't done a ton of characters in this scale. So the Darkseid is my least favorite of these two. Not for any particular reason. It's just if I have to pick a winner and a loser, this is number 2 for me. I had some issues with the ball joints on the ankles, but I got them fixed. I just had to dunk them in hot water for a while. But I said it in the review of this figure, but I actually kind of like this design. I know a lot of people don't. I think it's interesting. He looks like an Amish farmer with this chin strap and his lean physique. I like it. And that means the big winner overall is the Mega Fig Steppenwolf. And a few reasons why. For one, like the Cyborg, I think the design from the movie was really bad, but it looks quite a bit better rendered in this form. And then he has less articulation than Darkseid, but because his physique is more alien, it's still kind of humanoid, obviously, but like, he's got these crazy hands with like 7 fingers, and these weird kind of almost insect-like feet on these long legs. I just think he's just the most fun and the most unique, and he just has a lot of potential for movement and looks really cool every way you look at him. So there's the Justice League wave for you. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my choices, or if you had as much fun as I did with this wave, or if you didn't. Let me know. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.